to you about what's on your to-do list today. The reason this is interesting to me is I work with entrepreneurs all the time, and I thought that a lot of my work would be helping people figure out how to do more, but really most people come to me with a huge to-do list of way more things than they could ever accomplish. And so a lot of my work actually turns out to be helping people say no to things, helping people figure out what are the things on your to-do list that you're not excited about, that you're not going to get to, and that are really holding you back from being the best that you can be at your job or at running your business. Looking at cheat sheet. And if you master the skill, if you master the art of saying no, then you'll have way more time and energy left over to do the things that you're best at. And the people that I know who are the most successful are, in a lot of ways, also the happiest, because they've mastered the art at leaning further and further and further into the things that they love. So they get better at those things, they get known for doing those things, and they end up having a career that's based on doing those things repeatedly that they're fascinated by, that they have a lot of passion and energy for, and they've learned how to give up the things that they're not really very excited about, either because they're not good at them, or they're not excited about them, or somebody else is great at them. And so that's really what I want to talk to you about today. I'll give you a sense of my background. When I first started working, actually the first company I formed with my boyfriend was called After Hours Software. And it was called After Hours Software because we did a lot of interacting with clients during the day, and then we did actually all the programming work at night. So you can tell we were not that great at mastering our to-do list because we basically had to create two time zones, the interacting with clients time zone and the getting it done time zone. So that was an interesting experience, but I'm not sure I learned that much about mastering my to-do list. If you fast forward another 10 or 15 years, I was involved with Critical Path, and we grew from 3 people to 3,000 during the Web 1.0 boom in the span of about 3 years. And so in that instance, I actually got really good at mastering my to-do list, because instead of thinking of it as just a bucket that you continually toss things into and then take things out of, I ended up realizing really quickly that it's a conveyor belt and things are going through as fast as you can, and you've got to grab the things that you're good at and give the other things to other people. So if you're familiar with the I Love Lucy segment, where she and Ethel are working on the conveyor belt trying to wrap chocolates, and the conveyor belt speeds up and speeds up and speeds up, and they end up eating them and putting them in their pockets and stuffing them in their hats. That's essentially what it was like. And what I got really good at is the minute I'd hear something and it came towards me, I'd assess, okay, am I going to be the best person here to do that? Is there anybody else here who can get that done? If it was a yes, I'd reluctantly take it on because I knew it was going to be super busy. And if it was a no, I got really good at giving it away to somebody else. And I learned a lot of ways to change things into, change tasks into things that my team would love. I had the good fortune to hire a lot of people that I knew already and really loved. And so I wanted the things on their to-do list to be things that were super fun for them. And I got good at refactoring things so that they would end up doing things in a way that was super interesting to them. I have to confess I did leave that job fairly overwhelmed. I'd taken on so many things on my to-do list that it took me a good 6 months to sort of clear my head and be willing to even make a lunch date once I left. And after that experience, I actually took a couple years off, and so I had a different experience of managing my to-do list. I basically had a blank slate, and I could put anything on it that I wanted to, and that ended up being interesting in a different way. I really struggled with sort of trying to take on everything and figuring, well, I have all this free time, I should be able to master anything I want to do. And so I really had to learn to pick and choose. Okay, even though I've got acres of free time, I still need to pick the things that I'm best at. And after I started working with coaching clients and really getting a great cross-section of a lot of entrepreneurs, I ended up developing the system that I could use with people to very quickly assess what's on your to-do list, what do you love, what are you best at, and what are the things that really should get dumped off your to-do list. things that you shouldn't tangle with anymore in your career. So with all that in mind, I would like you each to take out a sheet of paper, and on the sheet of paper, I want to know the 12 ways in which you spend your time, or basically the 12 top things you spend your time on while you're here at work. We're going to work with those 12 things for the next hour and 50 minutes, and by the time we leave, I want everyone here to have divested themselves of at least 2, if not 3 or 4 things on that list. So with that in mind, take out your pen, and you have 5 minutes to make a list. I'll get right back with you. If you have a question about how the exercise works, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll come by and talk to you. Clock is ticking. Go.